Hey, in this video I'm going to show you beginners who've been playing for a year or less how to make some improve some of your basic skills and show you a few moves to help you improve and get out of being a beginner. Just some basic stuff for beginners. If you guys are switching your chords or struggling to switch your chords, that's one of the things I'm going to go over. I'll show you some exercises that will get you going to build some basic skills to move you along. First thing I'm going to address is how to switch open chords smoothly, because when you're starting out, it's something that a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to show you a simple way to switch any chord, no matter how difficult you think the chord is. I'll show you an easy way to switch any chord, even the most difficult ones, really very easily. So just watch the entire video. I'll move along from piece to piece. As we move along, I'll refer back to some things throughout the video. The first thing I'm going to show you is a couple simple chords. Then towards, later on I'll show you how to do this with more involved chords. First thing we're going to do is this. We'll take an A minor, we'll switch it to a G, we'll switch it to a D. I'll show you a very easy way in case you can't switch these chords yet. If you're still working on jumping them, I'll show you a very easy method to doing that right now. And what you're going to do is this. Doesn't matter if you use down strums or down and up strums, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use whatever. So let's get strumming the chord. First thing you're going to want to do is, while you're strumming, you're going to lift your fingers. Excuse me, you're going to lift your fingers and keep strumming. While you're strumming, we'll make our new chord. One finger at a time. We never stop strumming. That's the ticket. Then I lift them up to go to my D. The idea is to not stop strumming. I want to go to B7. Right there to E7 as well. Pick it up, back to my G, pick him up, the idea is to keep the strum going while you're switching. Eventually, the open time in between the chords gets shorter, so it's just this. But to get there, you want to learn by not stopping the strum. Okay? That's going to be much more effective than doing this. That's not going to work. You must learn first. Before you switch to any chord, you must learn to keep the strum going. If you can't do this, you're wasting your time with the left hand. If you're a lefty, you're wasting your time with your right hand. You don't have a choice. You must, under any circumstance, you must learn to strum while lifting your fingers up. That's the first thing you've got to do. So maybe you talk to somebody while you're strumming and you say, hey, what's for dinner? When are we going out? I want a pizza. Whatever you're going to say, you got to talk while you're strumming. So you can learn to switch without stopping. If you can talk without stopping, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. First thing you want to do is maybe talk without stopping, and then learn to strum and talk and lift. Go back. But keep that strum going. Do not do this. and then stop to make the switch. That's completely wrong, and if that's what you're doing, well, then you're wrong. And you're not going to gain very much skill that way, and you'll struggle, and you'll be the king of struggle land. So that's why if you watch these videos, they're all designed to help you play guitar in the easiest way possible. Every single video I have will make you play like a professional in no time at all. Because all the techniques in these videos take 4 to 8 weeks to develop. It takes no more than 2 years to gain professional level skills. Just figure out how much time you have to put in each day. That's the first skill I'm going to go over. The next thing I'm going to show you, if you notice, we're going to stay on the clean channel because these skills build quicker, better, and better when you're on the clean channel. So I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do to help your fingers get some dexterity in them. You can down pick the whole thing, or you can alternate pick it. It's up to you. When you get good at doing doubles, you can move to triplets. Now we're going to work on a simple, now that exercise you just simply walk up and you walk all the way back. Another simple exercise is this. I know it seems simple, but the idea is to make every single one of these strings sound exactly the same. So if you have to start out slower, you do 3 fingers at a time instead of 4 because it's easier. When you can do 3 separately and then 2 separately, only then do I suggest you move to the chromatic one. By the way, this exercise should never be attempted with all downstrokes. It will just come out sloppy. By the time you get to all 4 fingers, you should be alternate picking. And the technique you want to use, I'm going to be very, very specific about it. You want to be on the fingertips. Now, if you were my student sitting with me in a room, I don't have a marker, but I'll do my best to show you with a pen. You would be dotting your fingertips, if I can even dot them without a marker. You would put dots on the tips of your fingers on all of them, which I didn't, but I'll do 2 of them for you. And you use a little marker here, you say, and you put the tips on you dot the tips like that. And then you make sure that when you play, you train, especially in the beginning, the first year, you train to be on those tips. You want your knuckles bent like a C shape. You want to hide your thumb. We don't want to see it. We don't want to know you have a thumb. And if I wrote something on the back of my hand, you would want to be able to read it. That is how you know your technique is perfect. There is no other correct technique. That's it. Hide the finger, keep on the fingertips, knuckles bent. There you go. End the story. When you're on this hand, choke up on the pick so that there's hardly any pick showing on your thumb. See, my thumb is over the edge of the pick. And then I roll my thumb back when I want pick. If you're not doing that, your technique is incorrect. I mean, incorrect if you want to be super badass. You want to be a great player. You want to be one of the best. You want to be phenomenal. Your technique must follow all the other great players. I don't think you can create your own technique and be just as good as some great player who already created the great technique. You're not reinventing the wheel is what I'm saying. So follow somebody else's great technique. And the most of the time, you're going to need to be choked up on that pick because you're going to need skin and pick like 90% of the time. You want your pick and skin scraping together. So if you're one of those players who feels uncomfortable when your skin's hitting the string, then I feel sorry for you, because that's not the correct way to play. You want to be able to feel what you're doing, so the more hand that touches the strings, the better. And so if your thumb is touching the strings, it sends signals to your brain to let it know within thousandths of an inch where to go, and that's what makes you a great player. So you must have your hand touching the strings at all times, and your thumb, when it scrapes with the pick, should be able to give you more thumb on the string or less by rolling your thumb back and forth. All right, these are all specific things you must learn to master if you want to play like the greatest players on planet Earth. If you want to play like whoever, whatever, whatever, you do whatever you want to do. But if you're watching these videos, I'm only showing you the best ways to learn from the best players on the earth. So that's how it works. They all do it the same way. In some shape or fashion, we're all doing the same thing. In other words, no one's playing with their pick out like this. If you want to play like that, you'll be the only one at the party, my friend. Hope the party's fun. You'll be the only one there standing in the corner. You want to be like the rest of us? You chalk up on your pick. You learn how to roll your thumb back and forth to give you more skin or less skin as you need it. But you'll always be adjusting your skin to pick ratio. And I talk about that in some other videos. Now, let's get back to the simple chromatic exercise. You should be on your fingertips and everything should be clean. Let me explain something to you beginners. You are not going to develop clean technique by starting out sloppy and expecting to clean up over time. Let me be clear about that. Just like your room doesn't clean itself, your technique is not going to clean itself up. You have to clean the technique up yourself. You are responsible from the very beginning, from today moving forward, for holding your technique correctly the right way. If you don't, you're the one responsible for failure. So make sure you develop your technique correctly. You're on your fingertips, your knuckles are bent, and you're picking with your skin of the thumb, scraping the strings, at least a little bit. Now, this is for any time you're playing 3 notes per string. When you're playing pentatonic licks, it's a whole other ball game. I'm specifically talking about the shredding technique or the fast playing technique of diatonic boxes, or even if you're not in a box and you're just playing 3 notes on a string, you're going to need, see, look at that. If you lay over the fret, you're not going to get anything clean. You have to lay right over it exactly, and the technique matters. It can easily be like this, which is not that clean, or you can make it like this. Now I'm all the way up on my neck pickup, which is an even muddier sound, and I'm still getting it fairly clean. Now if we roll down to my bridge pickup, the tone is a lot thinner and the notes are even cleaner. There's just not so much bass up here. Now we can roll this technique in one spot. For you beginner guys, what you want to practice is maybe starting out on the skinnier strings and finding a section of the guitar where your hand is not opening up. Where when you close your fingers like this, you're in all 4 frets. So where are you on the guitar, depending on the size of your hand? Where are you covering 4 frets? For me, it's 10, 11, 12, 13. If I put the fingers together, they stay right there, which means my hand does not have to open up in order to do this exercise. Okay? So what we're going to do is just simply keep them closed like this, and just... So yeah, they're not moving anywhere. Now what you can practice is with the 3 fingers. So for this chromatic lick, if you don't want to learn, if you can't open your fingers up yet, you stay to frets where your fingers don't have to spread out. And you just stay here, and then you go backwards. When you're doing 3 notes per string, you can do repetitive hammer-ons and pull-offs to develop solid technique. Something like this. Try it down here. There's all different ways you can try them. But being on the clean channel will challenge you the most, because when you have gain, the notes come out a little, the notes, they make the sound a little easier. You need clean and proper technique to do it this way. So hammering and pulling Repetitively, slowly is the most difficult way to build, is the most difficult version of the exercise, but builds the most skill. Without the momentum, and going slowly without that momentum shows real skill. A lot of you are going to try to do this and get that momentum going. But the truth is, there really is no momentum. It's just you hitting these notes very cleanly because your fingers have the strength to smack them down even when you're on the clean sound. And if you have a problem with 3 fingers, then I suggest you start with 2 and you start with simple trills like this. All different ways for you to work these fingers. I'm not telling you can't go to the dirty channel. I'm just telling you that if you want to build serious skill quickly, stay on the clean channel. It will build the skills faster than the guy sitting on the dirty channel. What you do is you build the skills on this channel and then you test them on the other one. Because over there, it's kind of like playing baseball and you got the donut on the bat. You know, the clean channel is like having the donut on the bat. You go to the dirty channel, you're going to be a lot faster because everything takes a lot less effort. Just like when you remove the donut, your bat swings much quicker because it takes less effort. So that's what's going on here. Now, if you want to continue this move, you move up and down the guitar. I'll show you my picking in a minute. You can do pull-ups on the way back. But when you do the pull-off, you're using a raking technique. So it's alternate picking on the way down, starting with an upstroke, so that you can land on the downstroke on the end down here. Now you do all rakes on the way up. You rest stroke into the next string. Your pick must rest into the next string, like this. The most difficult version of that is 3 up, 1 down, because you have to lift your pick out and restart again, like this. I messed it this thing. I'm on the clean. I'm not even warmed up, but you get what I'm saying. Now, that is the most difficult way to do that. The other things you can do is you walk chromatically up the guitar. Excellent, excellent eye training. There is very, very few things you can do to train your eyes. And that is one of the biggest skills professional players have over amateur players. We train our eyes. It is one of the secrets we have that amateur players do not develop. And that is a huge separation between a guy that becomes a very skilled player and one who does not. If you wonder why you've been practicing, maybe you've been playing for years and you've not been able to develop certain skills. Most likely it's because your eye training is weak. Eye training is responsible for getting you past being the average player. You only become better than average when you learn to train your eyes. And one of the best exercises is walking the same fingering up the guitar. I'm going to switch to the dirty channel for this next exercise. Now, for this exercise, I'm going to my neck pickup. The more times you sit in one spot, the easier it is to build speed in the right hand and the slower the eyes have to move. So it's training your eyes, but at a very slow pace. When you move to something 3 times each versus 4, now it's moving slightly quicker. When you move 2 times, when you play each one only twice, your movement is faster, your eyes are now moving quicker, you're now training your eyes. And the fastest way, the most challenging way for your eyes to train would be to do each fret 1 time, because your eyes have to move faster. So when you want super speed, real speed, you don't want to be going only once, because you can only play and see so fast when you're doing 1 time. But if you just doubled it to twice, you can go much faster, because it still moves quickly, but your eyes can maintain watching the clarity of the movement the whole entire way. And you throw a couple onesies in there later on, but you see the idea. If you did 3 apiece, picking fast, it's a lot easier. So the idea there is, if you want to train your eyes, doubles is the best way to go. Now, if you follow a diatonic scale up the key, well, let's just say we're in the key of A minor. I have the A, B, and the C, the B, C, D, C, D, E, D, E, F, E, F, G, F, G, A, and G, A, B. To that C. Very, very simple. Training your eyes, one of the most important skills, but one of the most overlooked skills by almost everyone. Guys, I hope these tips help you out. These are some of the most basic things that you ought to be working on if you're playing guitar for less than 12 months. And if you're playing over 12 months and you can't do these things, well, don't tell anybody. Just get on them, because you should know them by now. Guys, I hope it helped you out. Watch some of my other videos. Feel free to like and subscribe and watch some of my videos. I'm here to help you play guitar and reach your best, teaching you things you're not going to see anywhere else. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. See you in the next video.